Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on how to hack. Alright, so now we'll be discussing on bypass front-end restrictions. Okay, so here we are back to WebGoat once again, which is our web application penetration testing platform for us to learn all about web application security. So in this case, on the left side, we have client side, and you can go ahead and click under bypass front-end restrictions. So once again, right, users have great control of how they can manipulate the data, the input that can then be sent over into the web application server. So they can actually amend and change the way, the structure of the values that are sent into the web application system. Alright, so as long as you have a basic understanding of HTML, you're able to amend and edit the HTML through web developer or even downloading the entire HTML page and then editing the values, and then you can actually send it over all the way to the web application system. So over here, alright, we can temper and change the data and the values. So in this case over here, we have field restrictions. So sometimes some of these web developers, especially on the front end, they may create certain options for you to select from. For example, here we have a number of views. So the first view we have, for example, option 1, which is a drop-down list. And then we have radio button, we have checkbox, and we have an input field. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 options for us to input and submit into the web application system. So if I go ahead and click on submit, of course it says, sorry, the solution is not correct. Please try again. Alright, so what we can do right here is to go ahead and do right click, okay, and we can click on inspect element. Alright, as you can see over here, inspect element. So here we can see we have the form class. Alright, so this is submitted into the web application system. So you can see the action /webgoat /bypass restrictions /field restrictions. Okay, so we can look at the first one, which is a select. Alright, so we have a select and we have a number of options right here. So all you got to do is do a right click and click on edit as HTML. So what we can do is we can copy the information over here, okay, and we can paste it and we can change the value. Okay, so I'm going to change this to option 3. Alright, and this will give us immediately an additional option for us to select from. So if you see over here, option 1, 2, and 3. So now we have 3 options that we can submit into the web application server by tampering with the data on the browser. Likewise, on the radio button, we have 2 possible values. So once again, we can change this. Alright, so we can see over here, we have input type radio, name radio, value is option 1, and of course here we can see, alright, we have checked. Okay, and now we have input type radio, name radio, value equal option 2. So once again, we can do a right click and then we can click and edit as HTML. So I can copy all this information right here. Okay, then I can put it after the break. Alright, so we can click on edit as HTML and I can hit enter on that, paste the information over here, and I can change these to option number 3. Okay, so once again, I can hit enter on it and we can see one additional option right here. Okay, so we can see that we got one additional item that we can click on. Alright, so we can select all this as option 3. Next, we have the checkbox. So again, we can see here we have the input type, which is a checkbox. And of course, the name is checkbox, and we have the parameter checked. So once again, you can click on edit as HTML, alright, space, value, alright, and then we can put whatever value you want. So in this case, I can put, for example, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so once again, we are changing the values that are being inserted into the web application system. And finally, on the text input box, alright, so here we have max length is equal to 5. So again, you can edit as HTML, so the restriction lies on the max length. So we can change this to 6. Alright, then I can add an additional value for this. Okay, so right now, before I click submit, alright, so some real life scenarios. Why do we need to do this? Is because as we are sending different kind of payloads into the web application system for penetration testing, whether it's cross-site scripting, server-side request forgery, SQL injection, there could be certain limitations at the browser level that we are unable to push the payload into the web application system. So with this in mind, alright, by changing and editing and tampering the data, we'll be able to submit it successfully into the web application server, which can then get processed for us to run certain kind of hacking techniques and tactics against the system. So now we can go ahead and click on to submit. All right, and it says congratulations, you have successfully completed the assignment. All right, so thank you once again for watching, and I hope you have learned something valuable. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll try my best to answer any of your questions. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you can be kept abreast of the latest cybersecurity tutorial. Thank you so much once again for watching.